Sukuna is trying to speedrun himself into having the Madara problem. What's the Madara problem? It's when you make a character so unbelievably strong that there is no logical way for the protagonist to defeat them. So we either get the Madara treatment, where Kishimoto backed himself so far into a corner that everything he did would seem out of place and he still somehow chose the worst option, or we have the Diavolo situation where to beat him Araki gave Giorno the "nah, I'd win" ability. Gege isn't really the greatest writer of all time, but even he must know how much he overpowered his antagonist. Is what I would like to say, but this panel released the other day. Gege must be gay or bisexual, because no straight man on this planet would glaze another man's dick for this long. We know Sukuna needs to be depicted as an unbeatable entity, so that he poses a threat for our characters as the final boss. But Gege has been too trigger happy when it comes to killing off characters or brushing off any impact that they might have made on him. Kashimo was killed in 2 chapters. Higuruma managed to get Sukuna in court and judgment deemed him guilty. Whoops, it only took his curse too that he got a couple of chapters ago. Whoops, Higuruma dies 2 chapters later and the sword does nothing after Yuji pierces Sukuna. Oh look, new killing game rule. Fushiguro now has the authority to merge with Tengen, another bonus for Sukuna. Yuji manages to reach Megumi's soul, but conveniently enough, he refuses to take over his own body. Now Yuta is also out of the action. Maki is fighting him now, so she's probably dying in a chapter or 2. And finally, this incredible masterpiece. This one panel served to not only pretty much tell us that everything our guys have been doing this far has been pretty much pointless, also destroys the idea of Gojo having an impact on Sukuna. I just want to ask, what was this panel for? Was Sukuna holding back the entire fight with Gojo? If so, why would he show any respect towards Gojo? Are we supposed to take this line as Sukuna mocking him? It's incredibly inconsistent. Yet again, this is the same author who ended one chapter by showing Sukuna on the verge of dying, and in the next one, Gojo gets off-screened. Why? How? Because he's Sukuna. I really don't mind that Gojo is dead. Sukuna is Yuji's antagonist. He must be the one to finish him off. But doing an off-screen finish for not only your most popular character, but also your most build-up fight in the entire series was not the right move. And now, with this panel, it's like another spit on his corpse. Some people have been defending the situation with Megumi as to him losing the will to fight on due to his sister's death, but that's just a cop-out. The King of Curses is currently killing everyone, has already killed your stepfather, and could kill your friends at any moment. I am sure he can muster enough determination to attempt to overtake his own body and grieve after the fight has been won. For example, Megumi's soul can start rebelling, and that would be a natural nerf to Sukuna while still continuing the fight. But no, Sukuna used the Megumi has depression technique that he hasn't used since the Heian era and removed that possibility. It just seems to me like the repeat of the reanimation jutsu being undone, but Madara saying "nuh-uh" and remaining on the battlefield. It's important to make your viewers believe that your final boss is strong, but at some point, you must consider that unless you have decided to write a story where everyone dies and the villains win, the protagonist needs a way to defeat the villain in a believable way, and right now, Yuji is not capable of killing Sukuna unless an ass pull happens or we have a repeat of Madara getting killed by someone shoving their hand through his chest. We have been told multiple times that Sukuna is the strongest sorcerer in history. We got a showing of a Sukuna who is nearly at full power in Shibuya, and he still felt like an enormous threat, but he also seemed somewhat beatable. Now he just keeps growing and growing in power that we are reaching a point where nothing Yuji does would feel like a realistic victory. If your character can already fight an entire army on his own, have a 1v5 against the top of the world and win, already has one of the strongest abilities in your story, and even manages to beat every mythical beast of your universe while blind, maybe, just maybe, you shouldn't give him a new transformation as well. Gege has started walking this path, and although I wish he can quench something at the end, I can't see a situation where Yuji kills Sukuna in a satisfying way. Well, I mean, if Kenjaku is truly dead, Gege already has one incredibly disappointing death under his belt. So hey, what's one more? TLDR, Shigaraki clears.